Mic'd up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Coast to Coast. We are so thankful that you have decided, all 8 of you have decided to join us today for this great, momentous opportunity to enjoy Yankee and baseball history. We've got my beloved partner, Michael Miller, and we've got Frankie the Yankee back. Welcome, Frankie.
Good evening.
Good
evening,
we are
gentlemen.
so happy to have you. You are in your Yankee garb, your Yankee room. I feel very underdressed. I'm actually in the land of mouse. Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you very much, sir.
At least you could have done is wear a Yankee Mickey Mouse shirt. And, you know,
I don't have one.
Adam is at a location, undisclosed location. He was very concerned he had to leave New York. He thought there would be riots today. Either way the verdict came out, he thought there'd be riots. So he's at an undisclosed location, and because his wife just left him, he's now not wearing pants again at the show. He doesnn wear pants at our show.
You're absolutely right. I never wear. I always have my upper half ready, and my lower half is absolutely,
naked,
free, clear.
We don't need to know that, but
yeah. Joanne was complaining the other day. She has to clean the cushions far too often, she said, on the chairs you sit on.
Yeah.
And now you're in a close location, and you're going to lose your security deposit.
That's correct.
All right. So for those of you joining us for the first time, by the way, we're going to get a ratings book after today. I asked for a ratings book. Use the microphone icon at the bottom of your screen to leave us a message. It can be Yankee related. It could be topic related, and I'll go over our topics for the day shortly. Or it could be a Stump the Chumps question, which we do need some Stump the Chumps questions because we don't have any right now.
Not enough.
No. And, you know me, I'll get it wrong because I am the ultimate chump. So use that microphone. We are live here on the Mic'd Up app for those of you who are watching live. And use that microphone, leave us a 30-second message or as many 30-second messages as you would like to leave. This week on the show, Frankie the Yankee joining us. We will do our typical This Week in Yankee Baseball. And then we will go to today's topic, which is the 3 best outfielders for the Yankees since 1963, as well as some additional information that we gathered regarding other 3 best outfielders, whether it be American League, National League, both leagues, or maybe we break it down by the decades. It depends on how much time we have. Well, boys, after that, we get to Stump the Chumps. Well, boys, what about This Week in Yankee Baseball? What do you have to say for you this week, Mr. Frankie the Yankee?
Oh, it's been a good week every week. I mean, everything's doing. I mean, what are you gonna say? I mean, what do you think about that play last night of the Soto getting doubled up?
It was the right call.
The rule is explain it because I didn't see it.
Yes, the rule is the simple explanation of the rule is this: the fielder, if he has a legitimate play on the ball, has the right of way. And then if the umpire, in his discretion, feels that the player had a legitimate play on the ball and the contact with the fielder interfered with his ability to make the play, which clearly last night it did, even though Soto did try and get out of the way, it is interference.
But when
and the runner is out. It doesn't matter. If the guy could be standing directly on the bag, if he's interfering with the player making the play, it is interference. I learned that one when I was in umpiring school, and I learned that one several times while we were coaching high school baseball, as well as in our dopey old fat man's baseball league. The player on the bases can be touching and standing directly on the base. If he is in the way of a defender making a legitimate play, a legitimate effort to make a legitimate play, it is interference on the runner, no matter what the situation.
I think they need to change that because if he stands off the bag, he's doubled up.
There's ways for him to stand. This is the explanation I got when I asked that same stupid question, because the base should be a safe haven. is there's ways for him to be on the bag and not be on the way. And of course, I came back with what's he supposed to do? Lay down and put his fingers on the base, and and that's the only thing he can do. What happens if he trips over him then? The other half of the problem is it was infield fly rule, and they should at least change the rule for the infield fly rule and say if it's interference while the runner is on a base, then there should be no advancing at your own risk like there is in the infield fly rule. They should change the rule. Infield fly rule is runners can advance at their own peril. Well, if you're standing on the base and there's interference, they should say the runners can't advance because of the interference, and the batter should still be out. So last night, they called infield fly rule, the batter's out. And the reason that Soto was out was because the ball got away and it would have allowed the runner to score. And that's why they had to call it, because the runners could advance at their own peril. When the ball bounces into left field, the runner on third gets the score because Soto interfered, and that's not a fair outcome either. So, the tough one. It's a tough one, but fielders get the right of way every single time.
Especially he backed up the last second.
He looked like he misjudged the ball. I don't think
he
he did it on purpose. He's not that bright.
Yeah.
So I mean, come on, they could have called interference on A-Rod that one time. He screamed at the third baseman as he went by. You're not allowed to do that either. So, and then what's funny is it's the second time it's happened in a week after nobody's seeing it in forever, because the White Sox game had happened. However, the White Sox game, it clearly did not interfere with the player's ability to make the play because the guy tried to get out of the way and barely contacted him. So the White Sox one could have been overturned because it was a legitimate interference and it was contact, but the contact was incidental and didn't interfere with his ability to make the play. So the White Sox one was a little different. What do you guys think? Adam's thinking. You could tell because he's
I've just been looking for an answer here for you. I want to stump you. I didn't know. I didn't watch it because unfortunately I'm blacked out down here, so I don't get to see anything. I'm only seeing stuff that's on Amazon. And that's tonight, luckily. So I missed that game last night.
So I get to see it anywhere I go. I get to see it anywhere I go, except when they're here in Oakland, because I get the MLB ballpark app, the MLB TV app. So the big news today,
Clark Schmidt. Go to the game.
Well, and then I go to the games. It doesn't matter. Clark Schmidt. Well, when the Yankees are in Oakland, when Oakland's at the Yankees, I also get blacked out because it's on local TV. Anyhow, big news today is Clark Schmidt went on the IL. That sort of solves the who gets out of the rotation problem.
I did not hear that.
Yes, he went on the 15-day IL with a right lat strain. And, the lat is in the back. I know how that goes because that's what put me in rehab a couple of weeks ago, was I hurt my right lat, which really was something that happened because my shoulder had an impingement and I was compensating. So
they say it worked itself out, and it did.
Yeah, but they called up Cody Morris as the starter. Doesn't Schmidt start tomorrow? Wasn't he scheduled to start? Yesterday was Rodon. Yesterday was Cortez. Was Heel,
and then Cortez.
And then Cortez pitched before him.
Yeah, before. Yeah.
So I think maybe Cody Morris is starting tonight. Now that I'm thinking about it.
No,
right? Didn't it go Stroman?
I think it's Rodon tonight.
It's Rodon tonight and Schmidt tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny how Heel replaced Cole, and Heel might be the Cy Young this year.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to get a chance. He's going to be the odd man out, and they're going to call it on account of he didn't pitch last year, and they're going to say he had too many. He's going to have too many innings. This is a way to cut his innings down.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yep, it's Rodon tonight against Patrick Sandoval. Yankees need to not lose a series against the Angels.
No.
Yeah, they're pretty bad, aren't they? They don't seem to have very much. They're not hitting.
21 and 34.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They don't have much hitting, and they don't have any pitching. When Kevin Pillar is now your star hitter, you're in a lot of trouble.
The 5 runs in 2 nights.
Yeah. So what else do you think? So, I have a couple of things. What else besides Luis Gil? Luis Gil in his last 2 starts, 2-0, 14 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 17 strikeouts, 4 walks. But in May, it was 6-0, 38 2/3 innings, 14 hits, and 12 walks. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. 41 strikeouts, and he only allowed in 38 innings 3 earned runs. ERA's under 1.
Really amazing. They
Unbelievable.
just can't seem. They don't seem to have an answer to him. It's one of those things where a guy comes into the league. It's like the guy in the Pirates. It's Gokul. What's his name? The Pirates guy.
Oh, the guy who throws
The one with
103?
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the guy. They just don't have an answer. Nobody seems to know how to
Well,
touch him. But
well,
this guy
he was
comes
a good
in
pitcher.
and
He was a good pitcher before he hurt his arm. And what's
yeah,
interesting is he's more control than he had at the beginning of the season, and that's what's making him even better.
yeah. Yeah, they're very excited by him. I was talking to one of my clients who happens to know these things, and he said that that Booney has been pushing heel forever, and that they're just not surprised. Like they just have always thought that this guy had what what they expect. He's showing it now. Incredible talent, and a lot of poise. It seems it's really nice to see. For me, the thing that the week that I can't believe Anthony Volpe. I mean, I don't see him ending. I think that he could just keep hitting this way. What I love is how he's hitting up the middle every time. He has that up the middle to right field swing right now, completely, absolutely timed beautifully. And I just saw his OPS is 800 and he's got a 2.7 WAR. I mean, the guy is doing wonderfully, and I'm very pleased. I think, and I don't want him moving out of the leadoff spot now. I think I'm okay with having DJ down at the bottom. What do you guys think?
Well, Frankie?
Well, I put DJ batting ninth. You have 2 leadoff hitters after the first inning, so that works well.
Well, Volpe's 21-game hitting streak. Obviously, he's had no days off because he hasn't had any yet this season. He's hitting 337 during the streak with a 383 on base and a 535 slugging, which is a 918 OPS during the streak. What I love is he has only 17 strikeouts in 94 plate appearances, which is an 18% strikeout rate, down from over almost 30% last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Change
they really worked him. It's nice to see it coming together for him. He's a good player. And I said it earlier, and you all made fun of me. He might be the best all-around player in the team. Of course, Soto, but he's pretty good.
Judge.
Does a lot of really good things on the field. He still makes mistakes defensively, a lot of lapses in judgment. But I think that's a young player. He does what in his second year, what Glaber does more often in his 8th year, and
Well,
7th year in Major.
well,
So
the other thing is we don't even talk about Soto anymore because he's so damn consistent. I mean, every week it's the same story. He's still hitting 312. He still has a 412 on base percentage. He still has a 578 slugging. His OPS is 990. Every day is the same thing with this guy, and he plays every day. It's just amazing how consistent he is. It's just a pleasure to watch a Yankee hitter who is not cyclical up and down. And that's because he doesn't strike out, although his strikeouts are up a little. But
yeah,
it's cyclical with most of the guys.
But he always strikes out. He strikes out looking more often than I've ever seen. He doesn't strike out swinging that much. He strikes out looking a lot, which always means that it's a judgment call between him and the umpire. So
yeah, but
I think
most of them have been strikes. Most of them have been strikes.
They have been.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. He
knows,
gives that look, but he thinks it's a ball, but most times it's a strike. It's hitting that corner.
Yeah, and that's just with our little box. So the other thing is, obviously Judge, right? Big thing.
Wow.
May statistics for Judge. 26 games played for Judge. That's the big thing, right? He's got 32 hits, 12 doubles, 11 homers, 21 RBIs, 25 walks, 1 intentional walk, and 1 hit by pitch. So he has more walks, hit by pitch, and intentional walks than he does strikeouts because he's only had 25 strikeouts. I mean, it's still a pace where he's going to strike out once a game, which is 160 strikeouts. But if he's going to hit 364 with a 522 on base percentage and a 1397 OPS, that's a pretty damn good month, right?
Yeah,
when he's not hurt.
I think that you're touching on something that is my concern, and Volpe's played 56 games now. He's he's 14 years old, so I'm sure he's not even feeling it. But Soto's at 57. Rizzo is at 56. Glaber at 57. I couldn't care less if they sat him for a month, and then Aaron, and then Judge at 57, and Verdugo at 54. These guys playing a lot of games, and I just
don't
keep
care.
worrying. When are they going to rest them? What are they going to do? Because I keep
Why do you
worrying.
want last year? Last year you jumped up and down and screamed, and we talked about how much we love the Braves because Olsen and Albies and Acuna when he wasn't hurt, and Riley all played every single day. These guys need to play every day. Judge gets breaks and DHs. Soto has played in the field every game, and Rizzo has pretty much played in the field.
The 25-year-olds I get, but the 30-year-olds plus, I worry about them playing every game.
I don't. I want to see them all play 150 games. I want to see them all play 150 games. That's all I want to see. Look what they did last night. Pilar needed a rest last night. He was their hottest hitter, so they sat him down. That's ridiculous. And then they didn't score anything. I mean, it's terrible.
You said it. I've heard you on text. Rizzo is a little bit, something's not quite right.
Rizzo's before we get to the downside, which is Rizzo, did you know Verdugo has a 10-game hitting streak going right now?
Yeah, I love him. I love that Glaber, he's the guy that I wanted to see succeed, and I'm most happy he is. Like, I absolutely didn't expect him. I'll if you go back and look at the history of the show, probably our third episode, I said there's no way he starts the season. I said he's not playing with the Yankees.
I thought they were going to trade him. I thought they were going to flip him.
He's amazing in the outfield. He gets such a quick jump on the ball.
Yeah.
Off the bat, you don't think he's going to get to it, and he makes it.
Yep.
He makes an experience of it. He takes a lot of weird routes. He gets a little out of whack, but he catches everything at him. He is so impressive. Red Sox guy.
And he's got a good arm. And he's got a good arm.
How's the Red Sox guy doing? How's the Yankee trade guy doing over there with the Red Sox? Who did they get? Witasek, or whatever his name?
I don't even know. On the rock.
Did they even?
I'll look it up.
Who they traded? They traded a pitcher for him, didn't they?
Well, they traded
Witasek.
Something like that, yeah. But so the other guy who we both, Adam and I, want to see gone, in his last 6 games, he's hitting .316. No walks and 6 strikeouts. So he's still got like a .316 on base percentage. Oh, sorry, he's got 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. Is Glaber. Glaber's actually hitting. But last night, did you see the end of the game, the double play? He almost blew the game by being lazy on turning the double play to end the game. Drove me crazy.
Now, what is it with the throw? He keeps doing it. I didn't watch it, so I don't know, but I would be willing to
It was that throw. It was that little
ridiculous side.
He actually went and pushed the throw. He went and pushed the flow.
I actually fell asleep.
They moved him out of shortstop. Yeah.
Listen, they got that little guy's down in the minors hitting unbelievably well.
Durbin, the kid is 5'6".
Durbin, yeah, he's like 25. He's built like Altuve.
I love it.
Greg Weissert, is that the guy they traded over to?
Weissert, that was it.
He hasn't played for the Red Sox this year.
Wow, they cannot be happy about that, can they?
Oh wait, yes, he has. I take it back. He's 2-1. He's 2-1. He's got 23 games, 22 innings, 23 hits. He's pitched well. He's got 25 strikeouts. He's pitched well for them, Weissert. But, I think the Yankees did a good job in that trade. They gave up a middle reliever who pitches an inning, which, although they could use one. So now we can get to the ugly. Rizzo is near the top of my list of the ugly. In the last 8 games, since he peaked at 261 8 games ago, he's hitting 143. He has 4 hits in his last 28 at-bats. So he's not doing anything.
He doesn't look right.
You sit them when they're in this kind of slump. That's when you should sit these guys. If they're not slumping, you don't sit them. But Rizzo needs to sit, especially now they got DJ back. They got
DJ back. Put him in first base. That's important. It's time. That's what you do. You got to give him a break because I think that's a lot of plays. That's a lot of innings to play at first base. It's a lot of first base, they're moving all the time. So it's get him out, sit him for a while.
I would play him every day as long as he's hitting. but he's not hitting, so I would sit him for a couple of games. The problem is that when Birdie was on the team, he was the right-handed bat that could put in against the lefty pitcher and sit Rizzo. Now they got to put in Cabrera, who's better left-handed than right-handed. So it would be, DJ at first and Cabrera batting right-handed at third base. But that's fine. I mean, where's Peraza? What's going on with him? The other thing that's really ugly, 4 for his last 45, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 homers, and 3 RBIs in his last 10 games. Since his batting average peaked at 258, he's back down to 230 with a 280 on-base percentage and a 481 slugging. Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah,
he has done nothing
He's doing what
in
he
10
does.
games.
And this is what
It's
happens.
just annoying as hell.
Falls into a few swings, finds a mistake, closes his eyes, prays to the good Lord, and there it is. And then he hits one, and everything is good again. Everything is
10
because they hit
games.
9 miles.
10 games. He's been terrible. Him and Rizzo for 10 games, they've been terrible.
How many strikeouts?
And they're right next to each other.
In those 10 games, 10 strikeouts. And only 2 walks. And only 2 walks.
I think he leads the major leagues in striking out 4 times in a game.
Golden sombrero, as Mike Krukow would say.
And his on-base percentage, his season on-base percentage,
280 is his on-base percentage.
His slugging percentage is below a Volpe's. I mean, I'm very happy about that one.
His OPS plus is still at 111, so you'll hear them say he's above average in OPS plus because he's at 111. But I mean, in the last 10 games, he's been terrible, and they don't sit him very often either, and he's not even playing defense. So who knows? And then, of course, there's the problems in the bullpen. Hamilton comes back from the COVID IL. They have a close game. Clearly, the Yankees saw what we saw before he went out on COVID. He was shaky. And now they've had 3 close games since he's been back off the IL, and they have not used him in any of those close games. They didn't use Hamilton. And that's not a good sign. What?
He's out of the circle of trust. Maybe.
The circle of trust.
And Weaver's starting to allow some base runners too. That's a bad one. And then after a great stretch, our closer is looking shaky again. And because we're spoiled brats of Yankee fans, because of Chapman and Rivera for all those years, we're jumping up and down saying he's not a closer. He's not a closer. He's still a top 10 closer in baseball, even with his shakiness, but he's not. Still scary because that's what all closers are. I mean, look, Kenley Jansen was a stud. He stunk for a while. What's his name? This guy. What's his name? Kimbrel. He's horrible in any clutch game in the playoffs or anything. Even Troy Percival had his slumps, and all these guys have their slumps. We're so spoiled, but Holmes really is it's like he doesn't know where the ball's going.
He's a heart attack.
His last 5 games, he's had 3 saves, 2 blown saves, and one of those blown saves turned into a loss for him. So it's just not good. I'm worried about the bullpen because they don't seem to have anybody in the circle of trust. Weaver's in it, but he's going to fall out of it. Canley's back in, and he's pitched okay, but we'll see what happens there because he's injury waiting to happen. And then, then there's Holmes. The rest of the bullpen, there's nothing to the rest of the bullpen. I mean, it just isn't. They're not that good. Right? Are the Yankees bullpen not good?
Well, it's been good enough.
It's been really good, but
like I said, I'd like some strikeouts. I'd like some swing and miss, and they don't have a lot of that. So that's what I wouldn't be surprised if they go after that. But
they got to go after some bullpen.
But how about trade deadline? There's going to be somebody available.
What'd you say, Frankie?
At the deadline, there's going to be somebody available.
Always is.
Always is.
It could be Chapman.
Chapman's been awful. No. What I don't understand is they have guys down in the minors that they can bring up, and Clayton Beater, and he's used to being in the bullpen. Nick Birdie got hurt again. He's on the IL. I don't understand. Cody Poteet went on the IL. Jay Cousins is on the IL. Obviously, Loizaga is on the IL. Ferguson is up and down.
He's up and down.
Yeah. Gonzalez is up and down. Gomez is a guy they brought up, and they sent him back down. Dennis Santana, I don't trust as far as I can throw the doctor that Adam hit with 2 pitches at camp, whatever her name is. I don't trust Santana worth a damn. And Weaver's last several outings have been a lot of base runners. I'm really worried about the ball. As good as they've been, I'm very worried. I mean, Weaver's last.
That's something. One thing they're saying right now, and this is interesting, is when we have them up, when Heel has to come up against an innings limit, do they move him to the pen?
There is no innings limit. Didn't you? Yeah, there is no innings limit. They're looking at the advanced statistics with regard to velocity and spin rate to see when he starts a game without his average velocity and his spin rate drops. That means he's got a fatigued arm. So they're not looking at how many innings he pitches. They're looking at his spin rate and his velocity.
That's good.
And obviously his mechanics to effectively evaluate whether or not he's running into a tired arm.
If that happens, then does that mean that they do put him in the pen? If he starts to see some decline, are they gonna shut him down and put him in the pen, or
they have no choice?
They won't. They won't have it. Well, when they get Schmidt back, this will get in a way. Schmidt's timing isn't so terrible because how far away are we from
end of June?
Cole.
End of June.
All right. So basically,
if this was 3 weeks later, the timing would be better. And quite frankly, although every report is it's going very well, I'm not counting on anything with regard to Cole.
Yeah.
Remember we did the over/under at the beginning of the season and how many starts we thought he'd have, and I said 3. I think.
What did Joe say? 1?
I think Joe said 1.
He might be right.
So we'll see what happens. But there are a lot of starters that could get freed up at the trade deadline as well as relievers. But you look at the relievers. Look at Hader; he's not doing very well in Houston.
Look at Diaz.
Diaz is, but Diaz is back off of it. Diaz, I give a little bit of a pass because his mental stability with regard to coming back off of the injury and not playing for a year and really pitching every 5 days when the Mets are in a game. I wouldn't push it too much, but we'll see. Maybe a team like Cincinnati falls out of it and they're willing to trade Diaz's brother. We'll see what happens. But the Dodgers are desperate as well. Their closer is also, their closer is hurt, but he comes back off the IL tomorrow, Evan Phillips. So the Dodgers are hurting there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's the bullpen depth and the bullpen stability is my biggest concern right now. Obviously, the starters they're setting major league records with these 5 innings or more and 2 runs or less. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing, and I'm glad they let Heel go through 8 innings yesterday. That was a nice thing to see. Hopefully, Rodon can do the same thing.
My concern's more with Baltimore. They're not going to slow down.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit right now, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yanks have gotten a 2.5 game lead. No. Anything else on the current Yankee situation you guys want to talk about?
No, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. I think we're doing good. What about you, Frankie? You think they're okay?
Oh. The Yankees?
Frankie? Yeah.
What did you say? All right? I lost you.
Just wondering how you feel. Do you feel good about everything? I mean, listen, they're first place. Everything. They're winning. What else? What do we have to worry about?
I think they're doing fine.
Yeah. I sure would rather be us than the Mets.
Oh
God.
Ooh. That is not good.
They might have a fire sale, but there won't be any buyers.
Yeah, well, Alonso's going to be traded, which is the right thing to do.
They have to trade him.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they have a choice.
I don't think he's going to get anything close to what he thinks he's going to get.
No, he's not even going to get. I mean, unless he all of a sudden goes on a run, he's not going to get 30. Yeah. I mean, there's no way he's getting Olsen money.
No.
Right? He's not getting Olsen.
Like you say, unless he gets on the tear and ends up with 40 home runs, but 45. But
Well, we'll see what happens. Oh, sugar. Screwed up my computer as I was looking something up. Oh, well. So, anything else you guys want to talk about with this week in Yankee baseball, or should we go on?
I'm good. Let's go on.
As we have said, we are on the Mic'd Up app. Here on the Mic'd Up app, there are several shows you should give a listen to. First and foremost is the Rick Barry Show with Rick Barry and Cyrus Stats. Hall of Famer Rick Barry, yes, that Rick Barry, who's been a frequent caller into our show once. But he is a good guy by calling in, and we've called into his show. Him and his sidekick talk about all things NBA. I'm sure he's got a show coming up, and I think he's got a show scheduled for next week, where he's going to talk about the NBA playoffs and all things NBA, as well as his favorite team, the Golden State Warriors. You got highlights from Lowlifes, featuring a group of low. Featuring, I gave you time to tee it up. The highlights from Lowlifes who live at the corner of pop culture and sports and are traveling around the country beginning after this week. I believe they're going to Baltimore, Washington, Frankie's neighborhood, and Philadelphia, and then New York. And they're taking their show on the road. I believe they're taking their show on the road. And they'll talk about all sorts of things, pop culture and sports. And once again, leave us a 30-second message using the microphone at the bottom of the page. So as we get into today's topic, we're going to start with we picked 1963 because that's when Adam was born, because he's old. And before we get started, speaking of being born, we do have to wish a happy birthday to somebody. Who are we wishing a happy birthday to, Frankie?
David Dimaio.
David Dimaio. He has been a guest on this show. And David, when he turned 406 years old, how old is David?
No, 403. Come on, give him a break.
Give him a break.
David's what, 59 years old?
59 today.
Much
59.
Older. No.
59 years old. Yeah, 59 years old. He's actually younger than I am. And I'm the youngest one on this dopey show. That's kind of scary. We are a bunch of old geezers.
Frank, how old are you?
I'll be 60 in October. What's really funny is, this is a good story for age story. Yesterday I was at a sporting goods store buying some pine tar. And I run into Terry Lee, who's in our baseball league and one of the highlights from Lowlifes guys. And he and I are talking, and we start talking to each other, and we say to each other, "Oh, what day do you play this? What time do you play this weekend?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm playing the late game." I go, "Oh, I'm playing the late game too. I'll see you then." Fast forward 4 hours. I text Terry, "There's a reason that we're playing at the same time. We're on the same team and forgot." We were on the same team and we forgot we're on the same team. Talk about old fat man baseball league. That's a classic story. You don't even remember guys are on the same team. Hey, we're going to play against each other. Oh, wait, we're on the same team. Anyhow, let's talk about the three best Yankee outfielders since 1963, which if we would have gone back farther in time, that would have opened up a Pandora's box of Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio and a whole bunch of others. But, I think 1963, we sort of do cut off Mantle. He's out of his prime, even though he played till 69, 67. And Nelson Howard was a catcher by then, so he doesn't make the list. So let's start. Everybody will name the first guy and why they named him, and we'll start. Hey, Joanne!
Mike! Making a cameo, my lovely
A cameo is Adam's better half.
Yes.
Anyhow, Frankie, we'll start with you. Who's first on your list of best Yankee outfielders since 63?
With only 8+ years, I got to go with Aaron Judge.
Why?
Well, he's got a WAR 44. He's got offensive. He's been a top 10 5 times in his short term. Position player 4 times. Offensive WAR, like I said, 5 times. I just think, in a short amount of time, I didn't want to give somebody with just that many years, but he's done a lot in 8 years, so I have to give it to him.
Yeah, I mean he has 835 games, and that's where I struggled. But I had him number 3 on my list.
Who'd you have one?
Well, we're not getting to that yet.
Oh, okay.
Adam, who do you have? What's your number? What's your guy other than Mr. Judge?
Dave Winfield. In that time frame, uh, just an amazing outfielder. Uh, had what I think was 1,833 RBIs in a 22-year career, Hall of Fame. Pretty nice guy. We met him at camp one year. A very, very nice guy who was a great Yankee who just happened to play in a time where they didn't do very much and then did not really get an opportunity to win a World Series except in '81, and we know that was Mr. May. So, but I do think that he was all around everything. He had speed, power, and just a graceful outfielder in many ways.
So I'm going to go with some numbers for Winfield just because I have him as number 2 on my list. He played for the Yankees for 1,172 games from 1981 to 1990. 290 average, 356 on base, 495 OPS, 495 slugging for 851 OPS, which was a 134 OPS plus for those years, 34% better than the average bear. His WAR was over 26 for the Yankees. But the funniest thing about Dave Winfield and the Yankees, besides it's related to our friend Howie, what was his name? Howie Spiro?
Harry Spira.
Yeah. So he had a 10-year, $23 million contract with the Yankees that he signed in '81, which was huge at the time, $2.3 million. But what pissed off Steinbrenner to no end is that Winfield's agent put in a cost of living increase clause in his contract. And this is what set off the entire Howie Spira thing. That cost George Steinbrenner $7 million. So his 10-year, $23 million contract turned into a 10-year, $30 million contract, and that's what set off Steinbrenner. As a Yankee, he was a 7-time All-Star and famously sat out the last game of the season to allow Don Mattingly to win a batting title, which was kind of chickeny of him, as well as his Mr. May. But quite frankly, I have him as my number 2 all-time outfielder since 1963 as a Yankee.
Uh-huh.
So I think we probably all seem to have the same number 1. I can't imagine not having Bernie as number 1. Do you have Bernie as number 1 there, Mr. Frank?
Frank, I don't think so. Frank, what did you already say? What your number 1?
I have Joe.
Oh, who else do you have? Do you have Bernie on your list?
I have Bernie too.
Okay. So I have Bernie at 1 on my list. He has a 49.6 WAR. He played, and this had to do with games played because he was there for 91 to 2006. He has a 297 average, 381 on base, 477 slugging, and 858 on base OPS, 1 Silver Slugger, 1 batting title, 4 World Series, 4 Gold Gloves, 5 All-Stars, 287 homers, 2,076 games. Bernie Williams, as much as he disappointed me when he was the world's fastest bad base runner I've ever seen.
I didn't have him 1 because he didn't have a very strong arm. That's one of his weaknesses. Where Winfield had a great arm.
Was Winfield in your top 3?
He's my number 3, and because some of these stats I had to look up, but left field assists, he had 16 in 1982 with the Yankees. I don't know what Yankee stats, and he had 5 Gold Gloves and 5 Silver Sluggers with the Yankees. I didn't want to put him on the list at all because I didn't like him.
Well, the guy that I didn't want to put on my list was Reggie.
I didn't put Reggie on the list at all.
I don't think Reggie was a great outfielder. I didn't see him as a great outfielder.
He was a great. He was a great Yankee for his limited time on the team. Did you guys? Obviously everybody knows the '77 World Series. Did you know Reggie in the '78 World Series hit 391 with a 500 on base percentage and
if you count the postseason, then you move him up on the list.
But, right. He had 2 homers and 8 RBIs. That's a ridiculous World Series, and yet Bucky Dent won MVP. And I thought Doyle was better than Bucky Dent in the World Series. But Reggie's stats in the '78 series were out of control.
Yeah, they were. But
he always said he deserved it.
Reggie, he didn't say he deserved. Reggie said Reggie deserved MVP in the '78 World Series because he talked in third party.
In the third.
So other guys,
Joe,
is
and
there
we just got a
anybody else?
message. Reggie's candy bar was better. That is true. Reggie did have a good candy bar. If you
Did you
like. Hmm?
did you guys have anybody else that you were even considering like as an honorable mention list? Like I said, I had Reggie
Roy
on mine.
White.
I had Roy White on mine too.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
so I did it a little
I mean,
differently.
his
I have
WAR was
Roy
46,
White.
over 46 for 15
Sorry.
years. That's pretty damn good.
Yep. And he also, did you know Roy White had a 360 on base percentage and a 404 slugging? I didn't realize he had that high of that stuff.
You know, there's one stat here is for as a defensive games as a left fielder, 9 times he was in the top 10, 8 times he was first.
It's as far as catching the ball. It wasn't throwing the ball, that's for sure.
Yeah, but put outs 8 times. 8 times he was in top 10.
Yeah, and he played, most of the time he played 150 or more games.
Yeah.
Twice he played 162. Not to mention he's one of the nicest human beings I've ever come across in my life.
Yeah,
Definitely.
He is a great coach. We love him.
I put him in front of Reggie.
I had Reggie ahead of him. And then the other couple of guys that I had on my list were Paul O'Neill.
Well, definitely, yeah.
He's an honorable mention. And then sadly, a guy that I really grew to despise as a Yankee at the end was Brett Gardner.
Yeah.
But those are the other guys that I just put a list of guys on a piece of paper without looking at anything, then looked up the stats, and then came up with my list of Bernie, Winfield, and Judge. And then with those other guys is just guys that I considered, and I really didn't pluck anybody else off the list once I started looking at stats. So Adam, you said you did something a little bit different.
Yeah, I broke it out by decade because we said since '63, and I really know much about the 60 Yankees because I wasn't a fan yet. And I don't think that Mantle belonged in that group in the 60s because I think Mantle, for the most part, was done playing the outfield probably by about 61, 62. He was falling apart, so he probably moved over to first base around 65.
No, he went to first base in 67 to 68.
Yeah, he didn't go to first base till the very end.
Yeah, but he was, I just don't think you could say
64,
Mantle
he
was
had
a
a very
great
good year.
outfielder, but he was.
Oh,
If you ask,
fantastic. Yeah, but he was, after 63 or so, he was, it was very downhill.
By 63,
if you
I think he was
ask
hurt. I don't
anybody,
have it in front of me, but I think he was hurt in 63. 64, he had a good year.
Yeah.
So the way I look
up.
at it is, as great as he was, and as great as Mantle and Maris were in that time, I have heard that Hank Bauer was a great outfielder as well. But I don't know. And that I heard from Warren Sherman. But I really don't know much about the '60s. The '70s, I've got, of course, Roy. I've got Mickey Rivers. I've got Bobby Mercer, and I've got a surprise that you guys won't agree with. But did anybody ever watch Elliot Maddox play the outfield? He could play center field.
He also hit 300, a soft 300. But yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying, and way I look at it, it wasn't just great Yankees or great careers, but guys who just sort of stood out when they came in. So good was he that Burden knocked Mercer, who was a pretty good center fielder, out of center field and moved him to right field. So I always thought that was pretty special. In the '80s, it was all Winfield. I don't really think of anybody else in the '80s playing the outfield for the Yankees. '90s, it was Bernie, Matsui, and Paul O'Neill. That to me was it. And then in the time, right now, I think it's just all Aaron Judge. And I also did it a little differently. I added arms. I talked about best arm strength, just so pure something that's unusual to outfielders alone, not just about his offense, but Jesse Barfield, just the great,
another terrific human being.
Yes.
And
I had something on Barfield.
to offer joy of, I just have a video here that I will show of our friend Mr. Barfield. .340-foot throw. Okay, I guess that was probably Rizzuto,
Holy cow! Yes,
giving a,
that's
giving a
Rizzuto.
holy cow. But
So just so you know, with regard to Elliott Maddox and Barfield, Elliott Maddox only spent 3 years on the Yankees, and Barfield only spent 2 full seasons and then two injury plague seasons.
yeah, so great for that.
Elliot was my first manager at fantasy camp.
Was who?
Elliot Maddox.
Really?
Elliot Maddox was my coach first year.
I didn't know he was a coach. What was that like? Was he a good guy?
Oh, he was a great guy. He was a great guy.
Really? Nice. That's
Him
something.
him and Johnny Blanchard my first year.
I had breakfast with Johnny Blanchard every day. Johnny Blanchard and Al Downing every day in my first camp. He had to be a nicer guy than the center fielder who came later as a defensive outfielder, Paul Blair. He was an interesting person.
Well, there are people who swear by Paul Blair. They swear by Paul Blair.
He was very loyal. He's a very loyal person. Let's just leave it at that. He's very loyal.
He's a good center fielder.
He was a great center fielder, but he was a very loyal person. Anybody else you want to discuss on the Yankees, Mr. Adam?
And you're going to hate it. Best arm. 2016, 2018, Aaron Hicks. Before he had his Tommy John.
Yeah.
I think it was 101 miles an hour from
he
from
was
left
100 miles. Yeah.
He was fantastic arm. Yeah, talk about a guy who fell off a cliff.
Yeah, in every way. I mean, and it's almost like he lost himself when he wasn't able to throw anymore. that was what stood out. But no, pretty sad.
Listen, the Yankees, when they signed him, we were friends then, and we all said, why are they giving him 7 years? He had one good season. And then look what happened. He just wasn't good, and then he got hurt. And now that everybody's favorite center fielder in Minnesota after Hicks, which is why they traded him, is having the same Buxton.
Same thing, gone.
Man is about as talented an athlete as anybody in baseball when he first, in his first couple of years. But once he signed the contract, it's like he has an itchy toenail. He won't play.
What's that term? The itchy toenail?
Toenail.
Can you explain the reference?
Yes. If your toenail itches, can it itch? It doesn't have any feeling.
Oh, so if your toenail itches, you suddenly hurt.
Yes.
So in other words, the old.
He's had some serious injuries as well, but he was constantly missing time, as was Hicks, constantly missing time for little nothing aches and pains. So,
and speaking of that, Frank, what do you think of Ricky Henderson? He's not on the list, any of our lists.
I thought he definitely was. I looked it up, but he wasn't a top 3, but he was definitely up there though. He was.
So I actually looked at Ricky Henderson, and when I started doing my other lists, I looked at Ricky Henderson and Bobby Bonds. Bobby Bonds on the Yankees was fantastic, but it was a season. So you can't.
That was painful. As much as I love Mickey Rivers and I thought Ed Figueroa, Mickey's still a great friend at camp. That was a hard loss. I don't know if I had a harder time losing. Well, it was painful losing Mercer the year before. That was sort of an earth-shaking loss for anybody who grew up a Yankee fan. And we've talked about Bobby a lot here, but when I was really blown away when they got rid of, and I didn't know any. I was a kid. I didn't really know very much about the drinking and all the problems that Bobby Bonds had, but he definitely wore out his welcome after having a great year. I mean, I thought he was hurt a lot, but he had a lot of home runs, a lot of stolen.
And we didn't know what Mickey Rivers or Ed Figueroa would do, but they turned out to be.
I mean, the Bonds for Mercer trade was a great trade for the Yankees, but there was a reason why the Giants made the deal, and then the Yankees got him for how good he was and said, "Uh-oh," and went for Rivers and Figueroa.
Yeah,
So as far as best overall outfielders. I broke down, since 63, I broke down my list into American League and National League with a couple of guys I didn't know what league to put them in. Mm-hmm. You want to start us off, Frankie? What did you do as far as your outfielders? Would you do just 3 outfielders that were the best?
Number one.
3, 2, 1. Anyone, one of the guys on your list. Go ahead.
Hank Aaron.
Since 63. 63 to 77.
63 to 77, he still had 448 home runs.
Yeah.
That's counting the last 2 years in Milwaukee when he had 10 and 12.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was.
That's a pretty good.
He
I
was.
mean, that's half of a career. That's half of his career now.
That's yeah. It's he was. He was a damn good player. Nothing you can say other than
he had a 78. It's in 63. His WAR was 78.2.
I know.
I mean, what?
He's on my list. I didn't know what I put him down as a national leaguer because that's where he was when in the 60s,
yes.
the 70s. Milwaukee was in the AL when he was with the Brewers, but
For 2 years.
Yeah. But I have him on my list, on my NL list as well.
Okay.
Adam, you want to give us one of you, or you didn't do this?
No, I did. All time, you're saying?
Since 63.
Uh, Roberto Clemente. Absolutely, no doubt. And also up there with the best arm ever. He had 266 outfield assists, which puts him low on the all-time list, only 17th on the list. But everybody before him played in the I don't know really what they call that, but it was a different game. They threw a lot more from the. I don't know why, but it seems like most of the great outfield assists came from the 19th century players. I don't know why that's the case. It was a rule change, but he is the first modern player with this many assists and leads that whole group from the 20th century on.
What's amazing to me is Clemente died in the offseason after 72, and it was his 18th year in the league, and it was his 18th year in the league, and he hit 312, 356 on base, an 835 OPS. He only hit 10 homers and 60 RBIs, but he started to have some injuries, but he was just so good even to the end. I mean, he was 36 years old in 71, and he hit 340 with an 871 OPS. The man was just incredible.
Yep. And then we have what I think we're going to do it again. Sorry, folks. We got to have another flip. We're talking about our friend, Mr. Clemente.
Safe. That was some short right field, though.
And this is the one that I really love. Ready? The one that they talk about is the one that he threw out. He threw to home plate, holding up Willie Horton. Maybe no, it was during the Orioles World Series where he held up the winning run in a game that they ended up going on the winning. They went to go on the win because he held them at the base of the wall, basically threw it all the way at home plate on a fly to hold up what was clearly a very scared runner at third base.
So you guys hit two of my three National League guys right on the head. So I'm very impressed with myself. Oh, that hurts to reach and pat myself on the back. And then sadly, my number 3 guy is Bonds, Barry. Okay. You just, granted, there's a little bit of asterisk there, but even before the asterisk, the man was incredible.
Mm-hmm. He's number 2 on my list.
Yeah. It's just, that's a pretty damn good outfield, right? Aaron, Clemente, and Bonds.
Yeah. We have a couple of people who wrote in here. So should we play?
Yeah. Why don't we hit Robbie first? Another teammate. Go ahead.
Robbie from the Highlights from Low Life show here. I'm tweaking your category a little bit. I'm going to name the 3 classiest Yankee outfielders since 1963. Number 1, Bernie Williams, obviously. Number 2, the often overlooked and under-recognized Roy White. Good player, good guy. And lastly, Tom Tresh, who was a good company man for the Yankees, played hard, played good baseball, and loved baseball so much he went on to continue coaching at Central Michigan University.
Yeah, that's his deep.
Great one, Robbie. Thank you. That was a good one. Those are 3 great guys. Now, I didn't know Tresh, but I do know that I made a mistake. Tresh was the outfielder I meant before I met Hank. I said Hank Bauer. I met Tresh.
Yeah, Trish was my coach a couple of years too.
Yeah.
Tresh and Blanchard were good friends with Bauer too. Those wasn't that the threesome?
Real quick, I'll tell you a quick story. We asked him about. Somebody was telling him about Billy Crystal buying Mickey Mantle's glove for like $200,000 in an auction. And he said, "I'll tell you something about that glove. That's a glove Mickey used in spring training after he retired." He said, "When I went from shortstop to the outfield, Mickey gave me that glove, the one he played with." He said, "I sold it for $20,000."
Yeah.
Years ago, he said.
You know,
I had no regrets, but.
You know, it's funny if you ask the question of all of the people that we talked about today, who was the best teammate, everyone would agree. Above all, it was Mantle. Mantle apparently was the best teammate anybody ever had. Not just because
that's on his plaque, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone I talked to, and I've talked to Jake about this many times. It was just that was what he was known for, being just a great.
He was a great player and supposedly a great teammate. So my other National League guys that I thought about is the gambler, Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Tony
Gwynn. I didn't know him as an outfielder. I know him as a third baseman.
He played outfield until to the last couple of years when he moved to third and then first. Yeah. Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn, definitely, yeah.
I had Winfield on my list, but I didn't know what league to put him in. Same with Gary Sheffield. I didn't know where to put Sheffield. And I had Tim Raines and Dave Parker on my list, as well as Vlad Sr.
Yeah.
Those are some of the guys I considered as well.
Vlad was great. Boy, could he
Vlad Sr. was just, I mean, he was on some teams that were really bad, and he was really good. I mean, he spent a lot of time with the Angels, so he could be AL or NL as well.
One stat I found out about Vlad was he had 10 seasons, he was top 10 in assists. He had 11 seasons, he was top 10 in errors.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and then I made an American League list only, and my top guy was Ricky. He's just the best leadoff hitter in the history of baseball. There's nothing that he couldn't do on the field.
Yeah, and I think that he falls
Ricky, like Reggie will tell you, Ricky was the best player.
Yeah, yeah. I think that there are players that fall into the category of the best baseball players ever, and Ricky is on that list, easily in the top 10, just for everything that he did, everything, and also that's how I feel. I feel about him the way I used to. I feel about Soto the way I feel about him. Every time Soto gets up, you think he's going to do something unusual and he do something great, and he would control the at bat in the game. Ricky Henderson was the same way. He could take over a game and do something, and scaring the hell. That's why I don't understand the lack of stealing now, because a guy like that, messed up the pitching game.
Listen, Acuna stole 70 last year. I mean, he went 40-70. So, and there's some guys that are stealing a lot of bases again this year. So we'll see.
But we don't see it. Why don't we're not seeing it from? We should see more from.
Volpe's not going to run. He's not going to run in front of Soto and Judge.
But then put him last. Let him bat last. I mean, why give up that amount of excitement? I've been seeing it. Every time he does it, and he does it often. But when he does steal, he gets thrown out sometimes. But when they steal, they do it well, and they put themselves in a position to score almost, almost guaranteed. Just find it interesting that they don't do more of it. Just taking the bat out of didn't matter that they had Mattingly batting behind Henderson back in the day. They let him run. Mattingly, I got to tell you,
Mattingly batted third, so they had somebody in between them.
Yeah, but it was by Randolph. It was Randolph.
Yeah, it's Randolph. And Randolph would just punch a ball through the hole for him. But Randolph was just good. Randolph, talk about a solid baseball player. So my other AL guys that I have on my list is number 2 is Ichiro. He could do it all. I mean, his first 10 years, he had over a 300 average and 200 hits each of those years. Mm-hmm. He won MVP in 2001. Yes, he won Rookie of the Year. But hey, Joanne!
Sorry,
He made the 10-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove. 3-time Silver Slugger. I mean, he was just incredible. And then the other two guys I have on my list, and it pains me to say it, but Reggie made that list for me as well.
Wow, you really like Reggie. Not on my
I
list.
don't. That's the problem.
Anywhere.
He was
Nowhere.
out of control. He was so good.
Mine's a little different than yours then.
Yeah, well, and then the other American leaguer that I had on my list was Manny Ramirez.
Yeah.
Love Manny Ramirez's prettiest right-handed swing I've ever seen.
It definitely is.
That's right. That's right.
What did you have there, Frank?
Well, I've got, he put me in the league in the top 3 or 4. I think the most underrated superstar is Frank Robinson.
I didn't see him enough, and I don't disagree. He was a great player.
He had 107 plus WAR, 586 home runs. I mean, defensive top 10, 8 years, MVP both leagues. I mean,
and knew how to play the game.
He knew how to play the game. He was, to me, he's one of the most, definitely the most underrated superstar ever. And I think the steroid era hurt him because his numbers look weak compared to the. Well, they really look weak. Almost 600 home runs.
That's right. That's right. We got Webby. You want to play Webby?
Yeah, let's play Webby. Go ahead, Adam.
Okay, 3 best Yankee outfielders since '63. I'll still take Mickey Mantle at the end of his career, Reggie Jackson, and Aaron Judge. However, I think one of the guys who made the greatest impact on the Yankees for the longest period of time would be Bernie Williams. So he's my runner-up.
Just a quick Bernie Williams story. I think you were at the event at Yankee Stadium with him. It was a winter event, and we were freezing. It was very cold. It was the fan day, and we're in the we're in the batting cage down below, and we're hearing all these people going up and taking swings, and it's the usual noise of the ball being fouled off. And I said, Bernie, you got to go in there and take a few swings for everybody's here. They want to see it. And he said, I haven't swung in 10 years. And I said, you got to go do it. And he said, oh, all right. He goes in, and Dimaio's pitching, and he throws, and the sound of the ball coming off of
oh my God, it was so different.
He was swinging one-handed too. He wasn't letting loose.
No, it was unbelievable.
I love that you remember that too, because
knew where you go. As soon as you said that, I knew where you're going.
Everybody turned around. We were all kind of doing our thing, and everybody's walking over here, and they're leaving or online, and everybody stopped. It wasn't that it was him hitting; it was when the sound of it got everybody.
Right. Everybody turned around because it sounded different. The people that weren't paying attention were like, "What the hell's going on in there?" And they turn in, and it's Bernie, and it's just making. It's like I felt like it was and I know he didn't feel anything in his hands. It was one of those swings where the ball was perfect off the bat every time. It was just incredible.
And this is the guy who's 15 years past his career, right. And he's probably weighs 300 pounds and plays more guitar than anybody.
He's not that big. He doesn't weigh 300 pounds. He wasn't that big. He was in pretty good shape.
He was pretty heavy. He was on the heavy side, maybe not 300.
He was better shape than you and me.
Well, I totally agree with that.
But I mean, he's no Frankie the Yankee, but he was in better shape than you and me.
Yeah.
And nobody mentioned Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
Great one. That's funny. I out of sight, out of mind. I don't know why I didn't have him on my list.
I had him on my list, and I had Ichiro too.
But. Yeah. That's funny. I don't know why I didn't think of Ken Griffey Jr. I don't know what it was. That's a blind spot.
And for all of our fans out there, there's one name. Whoever played with the guy said he was the best player they ever saw. And I think he had a short career. There might have been something that happened in his day. Dan Kramer. Ellis Valentine.
Oh, I love Ellis Valentine. That's an arm.
If you want to go see somebody who could throw out anybody from any place in the field, I mean, he would be on the corner and threw a perfect strike from the corner and right field in the big ballparks. In the day where the line was 340. And he'd throw the ball home on a fly, something to watch. But I remember seeing him with the Expos and the Mets do a lot of really interesting things.
I went to a Mets Expos game, and I swear he threw out 2 guys at first base on base hits to right field.
I See that?
One was
I'm sure
one was
there is.
definitely a pitcher, but the other one was definitely a pitcher, but the other one I think was just like this slow foul field catcher guy. I forgot who it was. Might have been Jerry Grody, but he was unbelievable outfielder.
Frankie, you have anything else? We have 8:05. We're at the end of our day. We're past prime.
I just wanted to get Griffey Jr. in there.
Good. I agree. He's a great one. We should.
Did you get
do
a
show
stump
on
the
him.
chump? Did you get a question? Did you get a question for Stump the Chumps? Adam?
Oh yeah, I did actually. I gotta pull it up. Hold on. All right, so Stump the Chumps. Let's just see. Oh no. Oh no, I left the Stump the Chump page. Hold on.
And you can't
So we
even
have no stumping the chumping today. I'm sorry to say.
no stumping the chumping.
We got to ask our fans to start writing in a little bit more about that.
Well, I don't know where Dave Hall is. I'll have to talk to him. He's my captain.
Oh, wait a minute. I do have a Stump the Chump. Here it is.
Oh, good.
Got it. All right, stand by. All right. So from the origin of the franchise in 1901 through 2008, their last season, the house that Ruth built, the Yankees won 26 World Championships. How many times did they reach the World Series during that period, only to lose?
14, 15?
Well, 41 American League championships, right? 40. 40.
That's all time.
They have 26 championships, so you're going to say that 14 or 15 losses?
14, yeah.
What is it, 14?
From that time, from till 2008, it was 13. So so they lost the World Series 13 times, which is more than any other team has won. So pretty interesting. They've lost more than anyone else has won significantly. I think the Cardinals, maybe 2, have 10.
Cardinals
maybe,
have 12 or 13, I think.
Yeah, Cardinals.
So a little stumping of the chumping, not a big one, but
all right, boys.
All right, guys.
We came close.
Fun show. Great to see you.
We will call it a day, and with that, we will play this going away music. Good luck to you guys. Stay out of trouble, or at least don't get caught.
Where is